Good afternoon, folks. My name is Sean Miles from Platepus Global Consulting, and I just wanted to go over a very simple but very effective tool used in strategy and doing diagnostics for your business. And now everyone's heard of it, I think. It's called the SWOT analysis. And so many people use it incorrectly that it causes a lot of issues sometimes when you're creating plans and strategy and so forth. But also when it's brought up and is discussed in the consulting side of things, people automatically think they understand what it is. But I really want to quickly go over that so people do have an idea of how to use it effectively within your business. Because what we want to do as consultants, we want to transfer this knowledge to you so you can use it to work on your own and do better on your own so you're self-sufficient. So the SWOT analysis, in essence, it's very simple. It's an analysis of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So within that sounds very simple. But what we see often happening is a simple list being made and compiled of all the strengths, the weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, but there's a lot of assumptions being made as well. Whereas the SWOT analysis is actually a mechanism to objectively collect facts on what the current situation is, and both internally and externally, and not make any additional inferences or subjective opinions about what's going on. So that's the biggest downfall we see with the SWOT analysis, because basically what this is data collection, objective data collection, so we can synthesize it later and talk about it later. So one of the biggest things consultants need to do is make sure they're just collecting the data and not taking that extra step forward and making some assumptions already. So under the strengths, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So strengths and weaknesses are internal to the organization. So that's everything that's that they're in control of and everything that's going on within the organization. Whereas the opportunities and threats, they're external to the organization. So that might be something in the market that's affecting them, or some type of new businesses coming into town, which is an opportunity. That's not really a strength or weakness because they can't really affect that. So two foundational things is objective only, just the facts. You have to make sure you're really disciplined on that because it's very easy to stray away from that. And then also keeping it in context of strengths and weaknesses are internal and opportunities and threats are external. Now, once you get that down, what we need to do to make sure you get a comprehensive SWOT analysis is make sure you span over the entire organization. And there's 6 functional areas designated by the Canadian Association of Management Consultants that need to be looked at with the SWOT analysis. So those 6 functional areas are finance, strategy, operations, marketing, human resources, and information systems. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what we want to do is we actually want to apply a SWOT to each one of these 6 functional areas to make sure we're comprehensive, we can cover the whole organization. We don't want to do one random SWOT analysis where we kind of chuck everything, and we want to be methodical, make sure things aren't missed, and make sure we do a comprehensive job when we're going through all that. So if you use the 6 functional areas, ensure the SWOT analysis is external and internal and be very objective. That's the first step for being effective. On top of that, what we want to do strategically when we're doing these types of analysis is we don't necessarily always want to have industry experts working on this stuff as well. So the way we approach some of our analysis and our strategy is what we do is we marry business objectives and commercialization and best practices. So this is how does a business run, right? What are the foundational things and how do we apply this to business? We come in objectively, we might not know the industry at all necessarily. So we're doing a really good objective job of that stuff. But then what we do is we marry it to industry experts. Because as we all know, a lot of the times in our own specific space or expertise, we start to make assumptions, we start to get a little bit lazy, and we start to take things for granted that we know for sure, whereas things change all the time. And that's where the difficulty lies when you're just coming at it from one perspective. So for example, if you're an expert in geospatial imaging, you might have some preconceived assumptions that the business experts might refute for you. So the best way to approach this is to do it from two different angles. So what we'll do is we'll do the objective analysis first. So we really have a good understanding of how the business works and do the SWOTs and do a couple other analysis. And then what we'll do is we'll bring in the industry experts. So whether that's someone internal, whether that's someone in our network of people that we'll bring in to provide that external expertise. And then what we do is we marry that together to have a final outcome. And now that final outcome, I wouldn't say this is an argument in there, but there's definitely some differences in opinion when you marry these two together. But what you get when you do that is you get the optimal solution. You make sure people are challenging assumptions that are preconceived, and you make sure that those hardwired things in the habit centers of the brain aren't driving the decision. And it's not an ego thing, but everything's on the table and everyone's talking about everything moving forward. Just quickly, I'm going to add one more analysis tool, and that's the PEST analysis. And this is pretty much common practice, but these are external factors that might influence your business as well. So it started off as the PEST analysis, but then some smart guy added a couple more. So now they call it the PEST-LE or PEST-LE or whatever you want to call it. So what the PEST analysis is an external analysis of environment, social, technological, legal, and the environment side. Sorry, political is the first one. Ethical. So when you're looking at all those, that gives you a comprehensive overview of how to do your analysis well from the external side of things. So when you add the SWOT analysis, add it to the 6 functional areas, add it to the PEST analysis, add it to marrying the objective business perspective and the industry expert perspective, and then you start doing the secondary market research of what's going on out there and collecting information and data. That's how you do the best analysis for your business. So if anyone has any questions, you can visit our website at platypus.com, PLATEPUS, or we can take questions now. Thanks.